Isaiah. Chapter 55. Ho! Everyone who thirsts, come to the waters, and you who have no money, come, buy and eat, yes, come, buy wine and milk without money and without price. Why do you spend money for what is not bread, and the result of your labor for what does not satisfy? Hear me attentively, and eat what is good, and let your soul delight itself in fatness. Incline your ear and come to me, hear, so that your soul may live, and I will make an eternal covenant with you, even the sure mercies shown to David. Indeed, I have given him as a witness to the peoples, a leader and a commander to the peoples. Indeed, you will call a nation that you do not know, and a nation that does not know you will run to you, because of Jehovah your God, even the Holy One of Israel, for he has glorified you. Seek Jehovah while he may be found, call upon him while he is near. Let the wicked forsake his way, and the evildoer, his thoughts, and let him return to Jehovah, and he will have compassion on him, and to our God, for he will pardon abundantly. For my thoughts are not your thoughts, and your ways are not my ways, declares Jehovah. For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so my ways are higher than your ways, and my thoughts higher than your thoughts. For just as the rain comes down and the snow from heaven, and does not return there, until it waters the earth and makes it bear and sprout forth, that it may give seed to the sower and bread to the eater. So will my word be which goes forth from my mouth, it will not return to me vainly, but it will accomplish what I delight in, and it will prosper in the matter to which I have sent it. For you will go out with rejoicing, and you will be led forth in peace. The mountains and the hills will break forth before you with a ringing shout, and all the trees of the field will clap their hands. In place of the thorn bush, the fir tree will come up, in place of the brier, the myrtle will come up, and it will be to Jehovah as a name, as an eternal sign that will not be cut off. Isaiah. Chapter 56. Thus says Jehovah, preserve justice, and do righteousness, for my salvation is about to come and my righteousness is about to be revealed. Blessed is the man who does this, and the Son of Man who takes hold of it, who keeps the Sabbath so as not to profane it and keeps his hand from doing any evil. And let not the son of a foreigner who has joined himself to Jehovah speak, saying, Jehovah will surely separate me from his people, nor let the eunuch say, now I am a dry tree. For thus says Jehovah, to the eunuchs who keep my Sabbaths and choose what pleases me, and hold fast my covenant. To them I will give in my house and within my walls a memorial and a name better than that of sons and daughters, I will give them an eternal name which will not be cut off. Also the children of the foreigner who join themselves to Jehovah, to minister to him and to love the name of Jehovah, to be servants to him, everyone who keeps the Sabbath so as not to profane it and holds fast my covenant. Even these will I cause to come to my holy mountain and to rejoice in my house of prayer, their burnt offerings and their sacrifices will be acceptable upon my altar, for my house will be called a house of prayer for all the peoples. The Lord Jehovah, who gathers the outcasts of Israel, declares, yet will I gather others to him besides those gathered to him already. All you animals of the field, come to eat, all you animals of the forest. His watchmen are blind, all of them know nothing, all of them are dumb dogs, they cannot bark, dreamers who lie down and love to slumber. And these dogs are greedy, they know no satisfaction. And they are shepherds who lack understanding. All of them have turned to their own way, each to his own gain, to the last of them. Come, they say, let me get some wine, and let us drink down some liquor, and tomorrow will be like today, only much more abundant. Isaiah. Chapter 57. The righteous man perishes, and no one takes it to heart, and godly men are being swept away, while no one considers that the righteous man is being swept away from evil. He enters into peace, they rest in their beds, each who walks uprightly. But draw near here, you children of a sorceress, you seed of an adulterer and of her who prostitutes herself. Whom are you mocking, and against whom are you opening your mouth wide and sticking out your tongue? Are you not children of transgression, a seed of falsehood. Who inflame yourselves among the terebinths, under every flourishing tree, who slaughter the children in the valleys under the clefts of the rocks. Among the smooth stones of the valley is your portion, yes, they are your lot. Indeed, to them you have poured out a drink offering, you have offered a meal offering. Shall I ease myself of these? Upon a high and lofty mountain you have set your bed. Indeed, you went up there to offer sacrifice. And behind the door and doorpost you have put your reminder. For apart from me, you have uncovered yourself and gone up, you have extended your bed, and you have made an agreement for yourself with them, you loved their bed, you saw their nakedness. And you went to the king with oil, and you increased your perfumes, you sent your envoys far away and debased yourself even as far as Sheol. You were wearied with the length of your way, yet you did not say, it is hopeless, you found the renewing of your strength, therefore you did not weaken. And whom have you been worried about and feared, that you have lied and not remembered me, nor taken it to heart? Was I not silent, and that for a long time, yet you did not fear me? I will declare your righteousness and your works, yet they will not profit you. When you cry out, let your heaps of idols deliver you. But the wind will carry them all away, a breath will take them away. But he who takes refuge in me will inherit the land and possess my holy mountain. And it will be said, cast up, prepare the way, take up the obstacle out of the way of my people. For thus says the high and exalted one, who inhabits eternity, whose name is holy, I will dwell in the high and holy place, and with the contrite and lowly of spirit, to revive the spirit of the lowly and to revive the heart of the contrite. For I will not contend forever, nor will I always be angry, for the spirit would faint before me, and the souls which I have made. Because of the iniquity of his unjust gain I was angry, and I struck him, I hid myself and was angry, and he went on, turning away in the way of his heart. I have seen his ways and will heal him, and I will lead him and restore comfort to him and to his mourning ones. Creating the fruit of the lips, peace to him who is far off and to him who is near, says Jehovah, and I will heal him. But the wicked are like the tossed sea, for it cannot be calm, and its waters toss up mire and mud. There is no peace, says my God, for the wicked. Isaiah. Chapter 58. Cry loudly, do not hold back, raise your voice like a trumpet, and declare to my people their transgression and to the house of Jacob their sins. Yet they seek me day by day and take delight in knowing my ways, like a nation that has done righteousness and has not forsaken the judgment of their God. They ask me for righteous judgments, they take delight in approaching God. Why have we fasted, and yet you do not see? Why have we afflicted our soul, and yet you do not acknowledge? Indeed, on the day of your fast you find delight, and oppress all your laborers. Indeed, you fast for contention and strife, and to strike with a fist of wickedness, you do not fast, in the way you do today, to make your voice heard on high. Is such the fast that I choose, the day when a man afflicts his soul? Is it for bowing his head like a rush and for spreading out sackcloth and ashes as his bed? Will you call this a fast, and an acceptable day to Jehovah? Is this not the fast that I choose, to loosen the bonds of wickedness, to undo the bands of the yoke, and to let the oppressed go free, and to break every yoke? Is it not to divide your bread to the hungry, and to bring the wandering poor home, when you see the naked, to cover him, and not to hide yourself from your own flesh? Then your light will break forth like the dawn, and your recovery will speedily spring forth. And your righteousness will go before you, the glory of Jehovah will guard you from behind. Then you will call, and Jehovah will answer, you will cry out, and he will say, Here I am. If you remove the yoke from your midst, the pointing of the finger and the speaking of wickedness. And if you draw out your soul to the hungry and satisfy the desires of the afflicted, then your light will rise in the darkness, and your gloom will be like midday. And Jehovah will guide you continually, and satisfy your soul in the dry times, and strengthen your bones, and you will be like a watered garden, and like a spring of water, whose waters do not deceive. And those who are of you will rebuild the ancient ruins, you will raise up the foundations of generation upon generation, and you will be called the repairer of the breach, the restorer of the paths in which to dwell. If you turn back your foot from the Sabbath, from doing whatever you please on my holy day, and call the Sabbath a delight, that which is holy to Jehovah honorable, and honor it, not doing your own ways, nor finding your own pleasure in speaking idle words. Then you will have delight in Jehovah, and I will cause you to ride upon the heights of the earth, and I will feed you with the inheritance of Jacob your father, for the mouth of Jehovah has spoken. Isaiah chapter 59. No, Jehovah's hand is not so short that it cannot save, nor is his ear so heavy that it cannot hear. But your iniquities have become a separation between you and your God, and your sins have hidden his face from you so that he does not hear. For your hands are defiled with blood, and your fingers with iniquity, your lips have spoken falsehood, your tongue has muttered injustice. No one sues righteously, and no one pleads in truth, they trust in vanity and speak lies, they conceive mischief and bring forth iniquity. They hatch adders' eggs and weave the spider's web, he who eats of their eggs dies, and that which is crushed breaks forth into a viper. Their webs will not become garments, nor will they cover themselves with their works are works of iniquity, and an act of violence is in their palms. Their feet run toward evil, and they hasten to shed innocent blood, their thoughts are thoughts of iniquity, desolation and destruction are in their highways. The way of peace they do not know, and there is no justice in their course, they have made their paths crooked, whoever goes on it does not know peace. Therefore justice is far from us, and righteousness does not overtake us, we look eagerly for light, but, darkness, for brightness, but we walk in gloom. We grope like blind men at the wall, we grope like those without eyes, we stumble at midday as we would at dusk, among the prospering we are like dead men. All of us roar like bears and moan incessantly like doves, we look eagerly for justice, but there is none, for salvation, but it is far from us. For our transgressions are multiplied before you, and our sins respond to you against us, for our transgressions are with us, and as for our iniquities, we know what they are. Transgressing and denying Jehovah, and turning away from our God, speaking oppression and revolt, conceiving and uttering from the heart words of falsehood. And justice is turned back, and righteousness stands far off, for truth has stumbled in the street, and uprightness cannot come in. And truth is lacking, and he who turns from evil becomes plunder. And Jehovah saw it, and it was evil in his sight that there was no justice. And he saw that there was no man, and he was appalled that there was no intercessor. Therefore his arm accomplished salvation for him, and his righteousness sustained him. Thus he put on righteousness as a breastplate, and a helmet of salvation upon his head, and he put on the garments of vengeance for clothing and wrapped himself with zeal as a mantle. According to their dealings, so will he repay, wrath to his adversaries, recompense to his enemies, to the coastlands he will repay with recompense. So they will fear the name of Jehovah from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. When the adversary comes like a flood, the Spirit of Jehovah will lift up a standard against him. And the Redeemer will come to Zion, and unto those who turn from transgression in Jacob, declares Jehovah. And as for me, this is my covenant with them, says Jehovah, my Spirit which is upon you and my words which I have put in your mouth shall not depart from your mouth, nor from the mouth of your seed, nor from the mouth of your seed, says Jehovah, from now and forever.